Welcome, Dennis Lebrecht here, and this last tutorial will be on fixing the problems with the website of last time, which did not exactly flow properly. So I want to demonstrate how you can solve those problems with Flex. And honestly, the best counsel I can give you is do research on your own, because the problems you'll have to tackle every time will be different. And to be honest with you, I kind of got busy and didn't finish off with these tutorials because of the problems I had with Flex. So it is daunting sometimes. Therefore, I want to bring you to my tutorial, and I'm actually, working on this. F12 to get the editor tools. Now, I've already arranged it, but as you see, just let me get the right thing. We had arranged our HTML as this, with a container around the navigation and a container around the image. These containers we had specifically named. Let me just go show you the contents. So I added a section around the whole, that you can see here, and I gave borders to every part so that we can see what's actually happening. So the section is the whole green box that is here. And then we have a couple of divisions. We have a division that's called navigation, which is the one here, which is all surrounded by yellow dotted line. And then we have a oh, sorry. No. I have box 1, which is the whole container here, and I have box 2, which is the whole container here. And then we have the 4 boxes. So we have division navigation, which is the red lined box here, and the menu here is called division box link, and division picture title is the one here, which says jet plane, and division image holder is the one here. Now I'm just noticing the division picture title should have a padding of some sort, so I'll put at least 10 pixels because, or wait, not a padding, but padding left, let's say 15 pixels, and padding right 15 pixels, so that when the text hits the sides, it doesn't go directly to the side, but there's a space between the text. Anyhow, I will go remove the extra tags that I put in my HTML right now. And actually, I'll just let the recording on as I do it. So I'll remove my green border. I put them in the inline style so they wouldn't be in the way of the CSS, because I wanted to get rid of them. Don't use inline styles. I caution you not to do that. So here we go. Style. So that should pretty much remove all our borders. Okay, except the one that was here. Style. Oops. Here we go. So now, refresh, and here we have a much cleaner looking layout. So what I want to do next is show you exactly how I fixed the problem, because before we had a sort of layout that went, this box was on top and this box was beneath over here below. And indeed, we need that to happen when the screen is not wide enough. For example, if we have a tablet, then this is how the site is going to display. So the navigation appears here, and then we have the menu beneath, and the boxes basically render in a line, in a straight line. But as we open up, we see that then we have another design that occurs, and it changes to where the two boxes are side by side. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, that turns out to be the reason why I added a section element surrounding the whole thing. So from here to here. And this section element I styled with a new style, so just press F12 to get the this style sheet. Section, let's just go get section style. And I use a style called inline flex. So let me just show you, when I remove display, standard let's just put display block, okay? Well, when we open up here, we have the old display. But when we make display flex, display flex, then the boxes inside will be manipulated so that they can fit in lesser space. Basically, that's the idea. Now you can get guides, on the internet. Go see CSS flex, and it's going to help you understand. But basically, that's what's occurring. And I can control that. I can control the flex direction by either using row or by using another column. So you see that in column I have the default style here. So what I chose to do is use what we call a media, media syntax, where I calculate the maximum width of the size of the browser. So at media, and with a max width of 640 pixels, that means from 0 to 640 pixels wide. Then my element section, I can put all sorts of new styles that'll cancel the default. So here I have my default style, but now my section has a flex direction of column when the page has a maximum width of up to 640 pixels. And my division navigation gains a width of 100%. My division navigation is the one that is this box around here. Therefore, usually it's 320 pixels wide. But now that I've added this specification, well, it takes up the whole width of the page. So it makes much more sense that way. So that's briefly how I can best explain it, I guess. I understand that, it's not very necessarily obvious to understand, but nevertheless, I want to tell you how that works. And also, you had no doubt noticed that the menu here, the buttons had a different placement depending, actually they were placed on the top because by default text starts on top and flows towards the bottom. So how do I do to fix that? Well, I changed my style somewhat. And again, if you use a display of flex for your links, then you can use justify content, make it center, and you can also align items to center. And that aligns the text both horizontally and vertically in such a way that we have exactly as what appears here. So honestly, I wasn't too familiar with flex before, but it's actually very, very useful. So anyhow, that's a quick overview of how we use to flex and how we use media. And I hope that you're successful with that. I hope you're satisfied with this web page. Of course, there are many things we could do to improve this. Let me just show you how we'll do, because I noticed that in my preview here, I had a background that was actually going from darker to lighter, and we can actually reproduce this with CSS. And there's actually a nifty trick that'll help you to do that. So it's called, oh dear. Let me see. CSS backgrounds. No, let me think. Yeah, I found it. I found it now. It's a CSS background gradient. So you can go at this place, colorzilla.com gradient editor, and you'll get basically this array of gradients that automatically creates your CSS for you, because creating gradients in CSS is a bit involved. And also it's not necessarily going to work in every browser. But anyhow, let's say I select a gradient that I want, like such as this one is about the gray that I want. So now I just choose the horizontal orientation, and basically there was a button to copy the text. I don't remember. Okay, so these are the styles you need to use. and they'll work in every browser, or anyway, about any browser that you need to be concerned about. So then I'll just go to my site again, and I will choose this image right here, this image box. So it's going to be image holder, and we have a background color, but we want a background gradient, so we're going to replace the color by the gradient. And see what it gives here. It's not, of course, exactly the right color. I could have adjusted that, but basically you get it, that it goes from darker to lighter, exactly as we would have wanted. So there you go. That's about what I want to present for now. I'm not sure if I will continue. There might be things I would like to show you with what is called schema.org. So schema.org is a way that we can use to, for example, specify what information shows up in search engines and shows up as microdata and all sorts of things, and even what sort of snippet you'll get in Google Plus when you share a website. So anyhow, I'm thankful to have you, and I hope this tutorial was useful for you, and have a good day.